How do you ride this bike? Let's take a look. The handlebars are so stiff that you can't even turn them. It's as if the handlebars are locked. Look at how much force it takes just to try turning. You might think the handlebars are locked, but this bike doesn't even have that feature. And yet the owner somehow managed to ride it. Can you believe it? I lifted the front wheel using a jack. It takes a lot of effort just to move the wheel and make a turn. What's going on? Let's disassemble it and take a look. Most likely the front bearing is loose or damaged. Now let's take this handlebar apart first. Next, let's remove the work platform underneath and lift it up. There are 2 screws down here. Let's start with the top one. The first nut is off. Now let's remove the second nut and the front steering column can come out. With both screws removed, give the wheel a little shake and the steering column will fall out, along with many of the steel balls from the bearing. Next, let's remove the brake. Then we'll lift the steering column from above. Looking at the bearing, you can clearly see that rust from water exposure has completely seized it. Now all we need to do is hammer it out and replace the bearing. This bearing had been neglected for a long time, lacked lubrication, and rusted severely. It's completely stuck. We'll need to cut it open with an angle grinder first before we can hammer it out. After cutting a slot, we can remove the damaged bearing. The rust is extreme, and the bike also has another bearing on the outer ring that needs to be removed and replaced. Now let's take a new bearing and install the outer ring on the bike. Next, let's insert the steel shaft into the bearing. The shaft has a bit of rust, so let's spray some lubricant and hammer the bearing into place. Once it's seated, we'll apply a bit more lubricant to ensure smooth operation and prevent water damage and rust in the future. Now that the bearing is installed, let's put the steering column back on the bike and lower the front fork. The steering column is now in place. The top bearing is fine, so let's just add a bit of lubricant and reinstall it. Then we'll screw back the 2 bolts on top. First bolt in and tightened. There is no gap in shaking after tightening. Then the second bolt screwed in and locked. Finally, let's reinstall the handlebars. Now the steering moves very smoothly and flexibly. Let's tighten the handlebars. Finally, install front brake. And the bearing replacement is complete. Time to test it on the road. The handlebars turn effortlessly, extremely smoothly, and very flexibly.